third, I was just like, police, police. I'm Lucky Hippie. Thank you for coming. Welcome or welcome back. What's popping? Okay, subscribe, bitch, if you want. We could be friends. Thanks. So, pretty much, welcome back to another episode of, I don't know why this really happened either. But yeah, these are two separate, like, incidences. English. I'm gonna tell you them in order, right? So we starting off in high school, pretty much. I was in the debate team. Fun fact: I was in the debate team, and we really did not get helped by anyone. Not teachers, not like past debaters. Like maybe for like one or two like meetings, they would be there. But like besides that, they were like, "Bitch, we got shit to do. I don't know about you, but we busy." So there was this one teacher that came to help us. He didn't do anything. He sat there, he listened to us, he was talking to some people. That was it. But he came to help us, right? So I remember being sick as heck because we were preparing for this one competition. And yeah, nobody wanted to prepare like too much in advance. So when it was like then like when we had like a week to prepare, everybody started scrambling and a bitch got sick. I was sick, like I couldn't speak. It was bad. It was really freaking bad. But me not wanting to be the reason of failure at school, me not wanting to be that person, I still try to come to like meetings and like practices and whatever. So this one teacher, we're gonna call him Mr. Teabag. There's no explaining. I can't explain that. Just his last name started with a T. So Mr. Teabag, right? Now he was probably new. He was like one of the newer teachers. Like the first time I saw him was probably like a year before that, so probably like grade 10, maybe grade 9. But like he was new. I'm pretty sure he came the year before. Like he helped us, right? So him and I never. I remember this day. Him and I did not speak, not because we were trying to not talk to each other. We just had nothing to talk about. Like he was talking to one of the boys on his dick on some, "You remind me of Shelp. You're so smart. This, that, and the third." Like he was basically eating this boy's ass. That sounds. Anyway, he was just doing the most to like this specific boy, right? So like maybe like once or twice, the rest of us would like cut in on the conversation because there was 5 of us, I believe, in the team. Yeah, there were 5 of us in the team, and then him. He was there in the room. So I was probably like sitting listening to people talk for a while. Like no one was actually talking about the competition. So I took my sick butt home. I was just like, if we're not here to do what we're here to do, I might as well, y'all could film me and shit. I had like boiled stony, like ginger ale boiled stony in a flask just so I could like get words out. That's how bad, like I was sick. So that was my one interaction with him. Every time before that, he had this thing where he reminded me of one of my siblings. Like he didn't look like them, like this specific brother. He didn't look like him, but you know when there's just something about someone that you can't put your finger on it, but you're just like, damn, this reminds me of someone else. Like he had something like that. I think personality, something, just confidence. I don't know, but he reminded me of like my oldest brother, right? So at that point, that was the only opinion I have formed of this man. Like, okay, he's a younger teacher, and he gives off something that reminds me of my brother. Like that was it. So probably a year later, like I was never a maybe I was I feel like everyone was a Facebook person when Facebook just came out, right? But at this point, Facebook already started, getting replaced by Instagram. but I, for some reason, made like a Facebook profile, like immature. Like I probably had one in like grade 7, and I deleted it. So I decided to make another one in matric for some reason. I didn't have shit else to do, I'm sure. So I would get like random messages, and I wouldn't really respond usually. But you know how it says you're online? Well, I was like clearly online, probably reading some gossip page because tea. And I get a message from this man, like not this man, like I didn't know who this message was from because it was a first and a last name. So let's say his first name was Kellogg's. We're gonna call him Kellogg's Teabag, okay? So I saw Kellogg's there, and because I was online, it was like, hey, so I was already online. It was obvious. I saw it. I said hey back, right? But at this point, I'm just like exiting Facebook because I'm just like, yeah, no, I'm good. I don't want to like keep talking to this random person. So, but before I did that, I was like, let me check who I just said hi to, and I go on the thing. I go to his profile, and then I start recognizing the face. I was just like, oh shit, this is Mr. Teabag. Oh, okay. So like the questions he's asking me starts making sense because he's on some how is school? How are you? And I was just like, oh, okay, former teacher. Because at this point in matric, he didn't work there anymore. Like he didn't work at the school anymore. He worked there for like 2 years, maybe. And after that, he did not work there anymore. So I was just like, oh, he probably like got posted somewhere else. Saw me on Facebook, wanted to check up on me. You know, I was just like, oh, okay, cool. So the messages, like the questions go from, how is school? You know, how is the debate? To do you still have a crush on me? I said, huh? I said, who? Where? Me? I said, sir, are you joking? He was just like, no, I could tell by how you looked at me that you wanted me. I said, sir, I wear glasses, okay? I don't know what you saw, but you saw the long thing, okay? Ain't nobody was checking for you, okay? I was 16 at this point. I hadn't turned 17 yet. I was 16 because this was still early in the year. And I asked him, I was just like, sir, how old are you? He said 25. I said, I'm 16. What is you doing? But at this point, it's like, the way he made it seem was that like, okay, oh shit, maybe I got it wrong, maybe she didn't have a crush on me, but we can be cool. I don't know why I thought that was okay. I should have just left those messages alone, just like. But he asked for my number, and I should have just left him on red. But I feel like at this point I was invested. Like I was curious. I give him my number, right? Cool. On Facebook, he wasn't being weird. Like the fact that he was just like, do you have a crush on me, to someone like 9 years younger than him, that was the extent of him being weird. He gets my number and he wilds the fuck out. Like he said, what is jail time? I don't care. He starts doing the most, okay? As in, he starts sending me pictures of his, okay? He's basically on some. The third, I was just like, police. And like, I would show my friends these messages. I'm just like, yo, he is wild. I had no intention of like ever like meeting up with him. But he legit went off on some, dude, I just want to things that could end up him in jail, okay? Legit. And I was amused, I'm not gonna lie, because I knew good and well I was never gonna like buy into it. So I started asking him questions. I was just like, yo, what's the youngest girl you've ever done this to? Like, let me get some context. If I gotta go to the police, let me know, okay? He tells me 19. I said, okay. That's his business. What must I say? He just kept overstepping, and I kept telling him like, no, I'm like, it's not like me entertaining it was not me being like, oh yeah, that's what I want to do. Me entertaining it was me not blocking him, okay? Just to see what he would say, because I was just like, yo, no one's ever been this bold. Like, let me just see what's going on. Until I was just like, okay, now I've had enough. There's a point where, okay, shit, this is funny, this is kind of weird. Like, I can send a screenshot to my friend and she would die laughing. And then there is, I'm uncomfortable. Okay, I don't like this. So legit, I was just like, okay, I'm gonna tell you now, like, I'm never gonna pull up. Like, the funny thing is, he lived quite, like, we lived in the same town, but like quite far away, and he was always on some, you make it to me somehow. I don't care. I don't care. And you can get after. I was just like, first of all, there's literally no incentive for me to, not that like you need one, but like, when you're doing something you're not supposed to do, you at least make it appealing. He was just on some, yo, all I got is eggplant. It is what it is. I was just like, no, sweetie, no. I legit was on some, yeah, no, you got the wrong one, sir. Go be a predator somewhere else. And that was the last time we spoke. I don't know if I should have gone to the police looking back. But, yeah, that shit was weird. It was funny, but looking back, nah, that shit, I feel unsafe now, and that shit happened like 3 years ago. Next story. This happened my first year of university. So, these two things happened about a year apart, right? Now I'm in first year, and there is this specific module that did not really fit into, let me say, subjects. Yeah, that I was doing that didn't really make sense. Because, you know, I was doing like accounting, I was doing business, I was doing economics, like commerce things, right? But then I was also doing like public administration, which that ties more into like if you're doing politics or like, you know, that is like this bracket, and I was doing this bracket plus public administration. Now that I said the module, yo, all I'm doing is telling, I mean, I know good and well I don't know how to bleep things out. So this one random module I was doing that didn't like tie into the rest of my modules. So this man's what he was teaching did not like. So I was always, I don't want to say struggling, but it would be like, yo, I'm studying, like I'm working hard on this, like I'm gonna ace this test, and then come back with like a 53%. And it would be like, okay. So there was this one time we had a group work, and I was sick again, goddamn. Anyway, I was sick again, so I didn't come to class, but my group, because of the group like assignments, we had a group chat, and one of the people who was in class was just like, yo, we need to sign, like, basically we need to like sign up as a group but in person, because usually you could do that shit online, but we had to like write it down on like this paper that was circulating, and we all had to like sign, right? So I missed the lecture, but like I made it to the class so I could sign like at the end of the lecture, right? So everyone is kind of just like, no one's really sitting down anymore. People are like, the list or register we were supposed to sign was like back in the class, and there's like a huge group of people surrounding it, and I see like 2 or 3 of my group members, so I go stand next to them, right? And the lecturer, this was probably like 3 months into the year, give or take, into the academic year, and I always used to sit on this like in this one general area of the room, which was like 3 rows back, and like in the middle of that like 4th or 3rd row usually. So I would be close to him while he was like talking, but like he's never like looked at me. There's always like an extra 200 or 300 people in the hall at the time, like no one has time to like pinpoint one person. Like the lecture hall was huge. So I'm standing with two or three of my group members at this point, and then he calls me, and I think for some reason he noticed that I wasn't in class today. So I'm just like, oh shit, this is in high school. Why is he calling me for not coming to this lecture? Like, but I go, because the lecture's calling me. What do you do? I walk up to him. The classroom is still full at this point because everybody's trying to like get their hands on the list to like write down their group. So he calls me to the desk, right? And I am just like, and I don't remember what he asked me, but I remember like trying to like make an excuse because I thought I was in trouble. I thought I was in trouble because I didn't go to that class, and I thought he was gonna be like, yo, what are you doing here? I didn't see you in class. So he's just like, how are you? I was just like, immediately I was just like, oh, just kind of sick, but I'm good, you know. I tried to like make sure he knew that I wasn't just like skipping. I was actually sick. Now, honestly, it's just like, whether I'm in class or not, it's not really the lecturer's problem. Like, they don't really care. Just pause. But I was still fresh into university. I was still just like, oh shit, like this hasn't happened yet, but it's bound to happen. So he calls me, and I tell him I'm sick and everything, and he's just like, first red flag. He looks at me like this. You're too pretty to be sick, I said. Now I'm 17 at this point. I'm just like, is he trying to catch a case? Because this man is like between 35 and 45, right? In that bracket. And he's like, yo, he's just like, really? You're sick? You're too pretty to be sick. At first I'm just like, this could just be like one of those bad dad jokes, you know, one of those over comfortable uncle but with good intention jokes, you know. I was just like, it's not that serious. And I didn't realize the tone of voice he was like using. He was just on some, so do you live at Riz? He had an accent, by the way. Do you live at Riz? Like a French accent. He was black. He seemed like maybe Ivory Coast, maybe. But I'm not gonna make more guesses before I offend somebody. But he was a black man with a French accent. So he keeps going. He's just like, where do you live? Oh, are you a Riz student? Do you cook for yourself? I was like, yeah. He's just like, I should take you out to dinner. I said, huh? But while I'm still on some, huh? Someone, like one of the other students, come up behind us and like to try and ask him a question. His whole demeanor switches up. He's just like, oh yeah, all professional, like, oh yeah, this is what you have to do, this is this. He was just like talking very professionally. Turns back to me like, so where were we? I was just like, Lord Heavenly Father, a mess. Like, what is going on here? So he's just like, let me get your contact details. I was just like, do you want my school email? Because we have like school emails. And he's just like, yeah, no, give me, however I can contact you, give it to me. So first I write down my email, and I'm looking at him, and it looks like he wants me to write down my number too. So like, I do. And then I leave. Like, I sign the thing, and I'm just like, what just happened? Next thing, this man starts calling me on some, where are you? What do you do? Like, let's say I was just in that lecture hall. And then like I bolt, like as soon as the lecture's over. Like I don't stick around or linger anymore, like especially with his lectures. And I would be like halfway across campus and I'd get a call and he'd be like, where are you? Like, you disappeared so quick after the lecture. I'm just like, I need to call my dad. That shit was weird. And it would be, I would try and avoid him like quite a lot. There would be points where like I would write a test and I would be leaving the venue, and when I'm like walking out, he's walking in, so he'd like stop me and be like, you've been quiet, you know. So he just give off predator vibes. Just like predator energy, you know, like Eventually he stopped hitting me up. I didn't answer his calls, and I dropped that module. He's not even the lecturer for it anymore. Those are the 2 times that teachers and lecturers have hit on me. Oh shit, bro, I just remember like some of the stuff like the teacher would say. I probably can't even say them on here, like, to be honest. But he was nasty, okay? Sir was nasty. The high school one, disgusting, okay? The varsity one, he was more so creepy because I didn't give him enough time to be nasty. But I'm pretty sure like the lecturer had like a wife and kids, bro. Anyway, thank you for watching. Like if you like this or you like me, subscribe. Tell me what you think about this mess, and I don't know. Thank you. Come back. Bye. I don't know.